Hey, Janice here. So I just came back from my trip from Korea. We were there for 2.5 weeks, so almost 3 weeks, and honestly I'm getting the holiday blues right now. So I came back over a week now and I'm finally adjusting to the work schedule again. But yes, when I just got back I was just in so much blues. I just didn't want to be back here in this gloomy, well, the weather's been okay here in the UK, but the atmosphere in Korea is just so much better. So in this video I'll be explaining the documents you need to travel to Korea, the process, and just tips so you don't get stopped in the airport, and also to make your journey a bit smooth. And yes, if you are traveling to Korea, have a safe trip and I hope you have a lovely time there, because honestly I did. I went with 2 of my good friends and my girlfriend. Also, I am blonde now, as you can see. I don't know if I'll be keeping this color. I do really like it, but I do want to try out different colors before I kind of grow out. As you can see, my roots have already been growing. So yeah, I will be trying different colors, so stay tuned. I've also included my ultimate checklist at the end of this video, so if you guys want to stay to the end of the video, I will tell you all the stuff that you need. Also, I have timestamps in the description below, so if you guys want to go back to a certain point of the video, your girl here has got you. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. First things first, the documents. You will need to have these printed out just so you'll have a smooth journey and you have nothing to worry about. I didn't want to risk anything, so I had to print all of these out just in case.
Disclaimer.
All the airlines have different rules and regulations and different documents you need to print out, so always check with your airline. These were the stuff that I needed for British Airways or Qatar, because those were the 2 I flew with. So yeah, always check with your airline. So I do have all the documents here still with me, just so I remember what documents I need to tell you. So the first document I have here is the PCR Fit to Fly certificate. This is quite important for when you're flying. You will need this, otherwise you will get stopped if you don't have this, and you probably won't even be able to fly. So make sure you have this. I think this is compulsory with all airlines. It's to do with your COVID, to make sure you don't have COVID.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
So you'll need to book yourself an appointment. Go online and look for your local pharmacy that does PCR Fit to Fly tests. Also, make sure your results are within 48 hours of when you're flying. Now, if you have a layover at some point in your flight, make sure that's within 48 hours as well, because I have a story to tell you guys, but I'll tell you guys after I've told you all the documents you need. But yes, make sure that is 48 hours within when you fly, not over. Also, make sure you have access to a printer as well, because you will need to print all these documents out just to avoid any troubles. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can have them on your phone as well, but I printed them out just in case. The next one I have here is your NHS COVID pass. These are the passes for when you got your vaccinations. I had all 3 jabs, so I printed all 3 of them out. So yes, you should automatically have these saved in your NHS app if you've got your vaccinations already. So what you do is download the NHS app and then put all your personal details in there, and then I think your vaccination should show up within 24 hours on the app, and then you just basically save the pass onto your phone or wherever you're going to print them. So the next one I have here is the Q code. This is also COVID related. So if you guys don't know, Q code is essentially so you don't need to quarantine when you arrive in Korea. If you don't have this, you will probably need to quarantine in Korea. So yes, make sure you have that, because
nobody got time for quarantine right now.
What you do, just go online on the website. I will have the link below, and just fill out your details. I will quickly run through what you need to fill in on the Q Code website. I have my notes here, by the way, that's why I'll keep looking there. It's just to help me to help you guys. So yeah, what you need is the address you're staying in Korea, a Korean phone number. If you're staying in an Airbnb, I suggest you ask your host to give you these details, because we didn't have a Korean number, so we asked our host if we can borrow hers to fill in the details, and she was completely fine with that. So yeah, ask your host if you don't have a Korean number. Also, you'll need your passport number, your certificate of vaccination, and your health conditions and all of that stuff. But yes, that's probably all you need to fill in for the Q Code. Moving on to forms and visas, we have the HIIITA or KITA, however you pronounce it. Basically, this is a visa to enter Korea. I remember paying £6 to £7 for this, so yeah, you will need to pay for a visa. Once again, the link will be down below if you guys need all the information. So you will need to fill out this form 72 hours prior to your flight. What you'll need to do is go onto their website, enter your personal details, your passport information, your application info, and then just make your payment, and then that should be it. After you've done all that, you'll then need to wait for them to approve your form, which shouldn't take more than 24 hours. So the next two forms I have here are only if you're flying to Qatar. I had to lay over in Doha, Qatar, which is why I had to fill these forms out. I don't think I needed to fill these out, but I just filled them out just in case anyways, to avoid any troubles. Just a reminder, always check with your airlines of what forms you need to fill out. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to fill these forms out, but I just want to give you these information if you're flying with Qatar. So this one I have here is the undertaking and acknowledgement form. So I think this is essentially to sign off that you don't have COVID and that you'll follow their rules and regulations as well to not pass COVID to other people. And then the last form I have here is just a visa form to enter Qatar. I don't think I had to pay for this like I did for the Korean visa. So that was all the forms that I had to fill out. If you are from the UK, I do suggest you check your passport and make sure it's not within 3 months of it expiring, because I think the UK made a new rule where if it's within 3 months of expiring, you won't be able to travel. So make sure you check that, and if it is within 3 months of expiring, I suggest you get your passport renewed ASAP, because it could take up to a month for the passport to get to you. So yes, get that filled out ASAP. I had to get mine renewed before I flew because it was within 3 months of expiring, and so was Emma's. Emma had to do the fast track one because I think it was like 3 weeks before we had to fly, so she had to get the fast track one, which was I think 1 week of it getting to you. Yeah, I think I sent it off like a month before my flight, and it took quite a while to get to me because where I live is quite secluded, quite high security, so there was quite a hard time for the delivery guys to deliver it to me, because you will need to sign it off to make sure you've received it, because obviously it's important documents. I had to reschedule my delivery like 3 times, and one of the times I did get quite annoyed because I was home waiting all day for my passport to arrive, and when the guy basically rang the telecom for me to come down to get the passport, I was like,
Okay, I'm coming.
and then I think I didn't even take 5 minutes. I went down and the guy was just gone, and I was just so pissed off because I was like, what the hell? I said wait for me, and then he just left me. So that was quite annoying. Oh yeah, so back to the PCR fit to fly test. So I did say I have a funny story. So basically when we landed in Doha, Qatar, that was where we had to lay over for our next flight to Korea, right? So just as we were boarding, getting ready to go in, we were getting our documents checked, and And when it came to our PCR fit to fly test, remember I mentioned that it had to be within 48 hours of the results coming to you? So yeah, when the guys were checking it, for some reason they were just like, okay, wait at the side, and then they held on to our passports as well, and that's what kind of annoyed me, because without our passports we wouldn't have been able to go anywhere, right? So I think they held on to it for like a good half an hour while they were checking other people in. Yeah, we got quite paranoid, so Karen went up to the guy and was just like explaining that the results was within 48 hours to our first flight. So keeping in mind, we had 2 flights to Korea. The first flight was from London to Doha, and we only considered the first flight, right? We didn't consider the second flight because we didn't think there would be any problems from the second flight, because obviously we were already on the flight, right? So yeah, I think essentially we just thought it wouldn't matter because we were already in the airport, so we wouldn't need to have any of the troubles of going through security and all of that stuff again. But luckily nothing happened and we were able to fly safely. It was just that one point where we thought we weren't gonna be able to fly because of that. But like I said, just make sure your PCR results are within 48 hours, whether you have a connecting flight or your first flight, just so you can avoid the troubles that I went through. That was basically it for my journey to Korea. There was quite a lot of people when we were flying. That's when they released the news of the quarantine, or like there was no quarantine. So yeah, that's when everyone started booking flights and stuff. So the first week we were in Korea, it was quite dead. There was literally not many people in the streets. And then on the second and third week we were there, oh my god, so many people. Like, we didn't expect that many people, because I think that's when everyone just started traveling and we started to see a lot more foreigners, which was quite cool. Like, it's been a while since we've seen that many people after lockdown and COVID. But yeah, I do miss Korea a lot. I do want to go back there soon. So yeah, just to run through the ultimate checklist, you'll need essentially your PCR fit to fly COVID test, your vaccinated COVID pass, your Q code, HIIITA, Qatar undertaking and acknowledgement form, and then the last one is just the visa to enter Qatar. Those are the 6 documents you'll need to fly with Qatar or BA. That is all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe, like, all of that stuff, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.